Hi, this is Don again, Church of Making Your Day. My gorgeous wife is slipping in right now as we speak. We went through Matthew 28, 29. Let's read that before we go into chapter. And it came to pass when Jesus had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine. Are you astonished yet? For he taught them as one having authority, and not as the Pharisees, Sadducees, priests, preachers, super preachers. A little bit different. Authority. And he proved his authority by what? Casting out demons. That's pretty authoritative, I would say, isn't it? Casting out demons, healing, calming the sea, the raging sea. I don't think there was anything he couldn't do, right? Chapter 8. When he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. They were starting to get it. And behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. No one else could. No other preacher could. No priest could.
Yes. And
Yeah.
basically, this is the first time when Jesus called Lord. And all of this happened after multitude of people being healed. So remember, as he was on the top of the mountain talking to disciples with all these red letters that we have, all his lessons, the lessons now continues through his action in life, right? So he fulfilled the laws in the previous chapter by clarifying us, right? To give us better understanding to people who has ear and can hear, not to everybody. And particularly at that time, he spoke to disciples. But then he went down to the mountain, and as he was going, he was healing this multitude of people. So by the time he finished basically all the things, everybody was astonished to the point because no one got not healed at this point, right?
Right.
However, as we move into chapter 8, you will see his selectiveness of people that he start healing with a particular message behind, because that message is supposed to go to Pharisees. This message is supposed to go to everybody, right? With understanding what else is needed. So what else is needed in the process of the healing and having God in your life? So that message is hidden message, and we will see this message as he approached one person after another. And this is the first person that called him Lord after all this healing of all these multitudes. Can you call this person, can you call Jesus anywhere, anything else but Lord after what he'd done?
Hey, not according to
People were astonishing. They do not even understand how it's possible. And this particular leper called him for the first time the Lord.
Right. Hey. How do the Pharisees and Sadducees feel about that? Not very good. Blasphemy. And behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. And Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. Now there was a movie one time called Papillon. Papillon. One of my favorite actors, Stephen Queen. I can't remember maybe it was like Dennis Hoffman, something Hoffman, I think, right? But big stars, right? And so they're in this prison or wherever they are, right? And the guy that feeds him gives him his soup. He gives him his soup, and he's a leper. His thumb falls off into the soup. That's what leprosy does. Leprosy is nothing to laugh at, look at, and in a weird way, I don't even know how this guy was allowed to get near Jesus Christ. Because normally, lepers were in leper colonies.
Right.
They weren't around normal people. Why? Normal people don't want leprosy.
Right.
So this was a kind of a
So
special case.
it's literally like incurable disease that everybody gave up on these people. They were kind of existing.
Outcasts.
Yeah, they were existing in their misery as they had, but nobody even considered not deal with them, not be with them, because it's almost like they're not part of society any longer. They're
No.
just like finishing up their existence as they are, and
Rotting away.
it's a very sad disease that Jesus was able to clean. And look how he said, like, even though it's saying here, saying I will, like through Hebrew we know that I will means like more like I'm willing, right? So he was basically pronounced, be thou clean, right? So he's ordered this illness, almost like he ordered demons to cast, when he cast out demons, right? Almost like he talked to devil, Satan, like he said,
Out. Get the hands.
get the hands. So the authority of Jesus is showing in all the things that he trying to help people to get rid of, like demons and the strong illnesses. However, interesting what Jesus said next to this guy, because everybody astonished saw this leper guy, but this is what Jesus asked him, and that's 4.
And Jesus saith unto him, see thou telleth no man, but go thy way and show thyself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded for a testimony unto them. It's possible that these priests, and he's going to make his offering, they might know this guy, right? They might know what he was. What are you doing? Making an offering. Why? Because Jesus, that guy that you can't stand, right? That has all the power and the authority, healed me. And maybe they realize, a lot of these people that were healed by Jesus Christ, they were like lame or leprosy for years. And the whole town knew. It was a small place. And when Jesus healed somebody, it was like, wow, now go give your gift, right?
Yeah, and of course, as initially Jesus healed about everybody who came to him, but this time he was very selective, because the entire chapter 8 was made for the purpose. This time was for the purpose to show different sides of Jesus, to show his selectiveness, as we read about in the previous chapter. He said, many will say to me in that day, Lord, O Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? Remember? So, and yet he's not going to accept everybody. He is going to be very selective. And the same way in the healing process, you will see how he choose different people that they would spread the gospel on their own way, even though they're not disciples, as the previous chapter is, even though they did different side of the society, like this leper, for example, right? What part of society is? I don't know, disciples.
Hey, yeah. We're starting from the bottom.
This is not the chosen ones,
the
right?
Bottom feeders.
And yet he wanted to pick different parts of society, as we're going to go through the chapter, you will see, and let them to spread this message to priests, to people, just to everybody, to show how powerful Jesus is on a different way, and a different way to heal these people, right? As he is.
Right.
Okay. So that's 4 and 5.
And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion, beseeching him. What's a centurion? Bad guy. A big bad guy. A Roman centurion, like a cop with an attitude,
Like
right?
an officer, like a
with
officer.
a big sword. And he's got lots of people under him.
Okay,
So-
basically we consider him to be Gentile, right? Because there's no belief in Christ,
Right.
Christ, right? Like
Right.
he's not. I probably shouldn't say that it's not believe in Christ, because he actually showed the best belief out of
There was.
anybody. However, he didn't call himself Christian, right? He did not pray. He didn't go to synagogues. He didn't do anything. He was
Right.
completely Gentile. However,
But he knew.
incredible things happen. Yeah.
Right. And saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented, miserable. What's palsy? I
It's paralyzed, being
Oh.
paralyzed. Yeah.
wonder. Okay, being paralyzed. Palsy, grievously tormented. Couldn't do anything. And Jesus said unto him, I will come and heal him. And the centurion answered and said, Lord, I'm not worthy. Thou should come under my roof. Just speak the word only, and I know my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go. And he goes. And to another, come. And he comes. And to my servant, do this. And he does it. Problem is, the servant can't do it anymore. When Jesus heard it, he marveled. He marveled. Never seen this in Israel. I've never seen faith in the people of Israel like this Gentile, like this heathen. Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith. No, not even in Israel. God's people. And I say unto you, that many shall come from the east and the west, Gentiles, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. It's not sounding good for Israel, is it? The children of the kingdom. There shall be weeping, gnashing of teeth. And Jesus said unto the centurion, go. Go thy way. And as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. There were times where Jesus would have a little girl. I think one time she was dying or dead. One or the other, I can't remember. He goes into the room, there's people in there, and Jesus goes, out. Everybody up. Why was that? People of no faith. People in mourning. You gotta have faith. People around you have to have faith. Jesus doesn't like doubt, right? He wants people in there. He probably had a couple of his disciples, maybe Peter, maybe John, James, who knows? But everybody else out, because this has got to be a completely 100% faith-based.
Yeah, and it's interesting because this is the second person. This is the second person that Jesus cured as a showing as example that basically the only thing these people have in common. Think about the low part of the society, the leper, right? Now he's treating on the request of the higher part of the society, because this officer has a lot of people under him.
Yeah,
So
power.
he said, I
Roman.
have soldiers, I have people that servants, and I say, go, do, bring, come, and people do things for me. However,
Sounds like you.
both people, both of them, they only had one thing in common, is their faith. They believe that Jesus can do, and Jesus was marveled. He
Right.
could not believe that these people, that Gentiles, can have such a strong faith. That's why Christianity is powerful for everybody. There's no really chosen people that can become Christian, can believe in God, and can have faith in Jesus, right? So he is saying and showing to us that different people that different from 12 disciples that he had receive what they ask for according to their belief.
13 or 14?
14.
And when Jesus was come into Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick. Boy, everybody's dying around here, right? A lot of people sick. A lot of people with problems, like today. And he touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she arose and ministered unto them.
Imagine somebody laying in bed dying, and suddenly this person jump out of bed and start serving, right?
Right.
So this is interesting. This is basically mother of wife of Peter. So now he shows his side to somebody close to himself, right? So we had leper, we had a Roman officer. Now we have somebody close to his disciples, that mother of his wife, that also had believed in Jesus, and she got healed.
When the even was come, evening, they brought unto him many that were possessed with devils. Hey, there used to be a lot of people possessed with devils. What do you think about nowadays? Hey, ever been to a nut house lately? Have you ever been to an insane asylum? They're still here, trust me, a lot. That were possessed with devils, and he cast out the spirits with his word and healed. How many? How many did he heal? All. Nobody left unhealed. Nobody left unsatisfied. Whatever they had. That it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of Isaiah, the prophet, saying himself, he took our infirmities and bore our sicknesses. Now when Jesus saw great multitudes about him, he gave commandment to depart unto the other side. And a certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee wherever thou goest. A big shot. A big shot. I'm ready. This looks good. This looks good to me. And Jesus said unto him, warning, the foxes have holes, birds of the air have nests, the Son of Man hath nowhere to lay his head.
It's so interesting because in this part, we can see that Jesus started being very selective, right? So what was wrong with this guy? What do you think, Sahar?
I think it was really good. Mm-hmm. I think it's somebody.
Yeah, because remember,
like a lot of preachers,
when Jesus,
made lots of money.
When Jesus was,
it's a warning.
Right. Remember when Jesus was passing by fishermen, and when he picked the disciples, I honestly don't think that we're random people. You know, he felt that these people will able to spread the gospel. Then
well, they were part of, maybe, and he knew it more than anyone. Maybe even they didn't know it. But he knew they were one thing. They were the elect. We talked about this before.
Right.
The elect, when you're called, you don't say no. You don't say, well, let me go bury my father. What Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. You gonna follow me or not?
Right. But the interesting thing that this, for example, this gentleman, and Jesus really answered to him very metaphorically saying the foxes have holes, right? And foxes known to be kind of very coney type of people, right? If we call somebody foxy, you know, coney. And then he said the bird flying way high, right? Had a nest flying high, so the birds, the pride, right? So by feeling this person through his inside beliefs on, not because he said I'm gonna follow you, I'm just gonna go after you. However, Jesus said that look, you know, it's basically thank you very much, thanks but not thanks, right? So somehow Jesus felt what kind of person that is, and he did not offer him to follow, right? He didn't say, okay, now you're gonna be disciple. He didn't say that.
Right.
Right.
Foxes have holes. I bought a wolf
Yeah.
about 30 years ago.
So that was kind of denial answered from Jesus, right?
Is what it is, right?
21.
Okay, but listen, I bought a wolf from a guy. He was a ex-quarterback of the Raiders. I can't remember his name, but he was bigger than me. Just a big, bad dude, right? And he had these hemi-cudas in his front yard. It's all dirt. And a huge wolf to guard them all with a huge chain. I was kind of nervous to walk up to the door, right? I said, I want a white wolf, like an Arctic wolf, right? Male. And he goes, sorry, man. Going out. And I see this little wolf pup come out of what? A hole. His whole backyard was holes. Foxes have their holes, so do wolves. So do wolf cubs, right? And I see him running somewhere, right? I go, I want that one. He goes, dude, that's already, he's already sold. He's already going to somebody else, right? Some woman, some girl, some what? And I go, you can't sell a male wolf to a woman. You know that. So he's $500. He goes, you're a wolf guy. I'm going to give him to you for $450. Give me a discount deal. God, I wish I bought all these cars in the yard. Plum crazy, convertible Hemi Cuda. See, he had dog. That's just what he had. All right.
So, okay.
21.
21.
And another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer. Here's that suffer again. Suffer me first to go and bury my father. What does suffer mean again? Suffering? No. Allow. But Jesus said unto him, follow me now. Your dad and your family, when he dies, you can go to his funeral, but he ain't dead yet. So follow me now. Because it sounds kind of, Angel, it does sound kind of not nice. Jesus wasn't the nicest guy in the shed. Follow me and let the dead bury their dead. What's he talking about? Spiritual, of course. Right? You come following. You want to follow me? You see me right now? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me where you're going. Don't
Yes.
tell me later.
Right. There's basically
No time for later.
Jesus seems to be treat this guy as giving giving excuse, even though it was a big excuse, and being with his father. However, and we remember that Jesus brought back to life many people. However, in this case, this person, it was time to go.
Right.
It was time to go for this person, and there was no time to waste. And he said, follow me. Your time is with me. Your time is deal with.
Your time's now.
Time is now versus the deal with something that can be taken care of, because there's nothing much you can do about it. So there's something so important that you are signed by me. So follow me and devote basically your time to me versus anything else.
Let's
That
go.
was
Let's go
second to
raise
none.
your. Let's go raise your father. Let's go. That wasn't a situation.
No, it wasn't. And again, Jesus felt really clear who is who and who he talked to and what is going on. So that's why he was very clear, very authoritative versus people that there's a hope, there's a faith, there's not.
Right.
Yeah.
One way or another, right? Again, we've talked before. I think I'm kind of pregnant. A woman said, I think I'm kind of pregnant. What does that mean? Go take a test, whatever. You're pregnant or you're not pregnant. You believe in God or you don't.
So
That's all there is to it.
this is almost like I feel these people start conditioning, you know? They are conditioned, like these guys, like, yeah, Lord, I will follow you, but I have things taken care of. You see what I mean?
Right.
And this is almost like, and he's like straightening him up, and he's like, wait a minute, you follow me, nothing else matters. That's how important. And it's interesting because even the dad of his father, right? So we know we have to respect our parents, but he's already dead, right? He is dead. So there's a time to deal with
You know, I never thought
who's
about that.
alive
You
versus
said I have to go bury
yeah.
my father. What does that mean? Hey, Pop, bye.
Yeah.
Let somebody
Yeah.
else right now
Yeah.
bury him.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Fine.
So
You're not bringing him back.
we see even that is not as important as what Jesus is going to give disciples in every single step. If he want disciples to follow his every single step and start going through the lesson because he knows the time is taken and he is here not for long with us. 23.
I think it was Baby. I think it was, I don't even think you watched the movie. Pumping Iron. Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? What was Ferrigno? Lou Ferrigno and Franco Harris. These are three beings, right? That are just humongous among us, right? I think it was Arnold's father that died back in, what was Austria? I think it was Austria, right? He couldn't go. He couldn't go to his father's funeral. Why? Because he was preparing for Mr. Olympia, the greatest body on earth. The four people, right? And he was so focused. He would look at one muscle on his body and he would fix it if it needed to be fixed, right?
Right.
He was just, and him, Bruce Lee, and Jesus Christ, what they all have in common. Nobody understood, nobody got that, like they're all up here, and we're not. And Arnold would try to explain it to his parents, and they just didn't. Yeah, like Bill Gates too, right? Trying to explain this computer, I think it's going to be a big thing. Yeah, shelve it. Shelve it. Bruce Lee, he'd stick his toes up your nose so fast you never knew it hit, right? People didn't understand it. They didn't get it. Hey, later they got it, didn't they? Everybody got it.
And 23.
23. And when he was entered into a ship, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves. But he was asleep. Didn't seem to bother him much, right? The ship's going down. Lord. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us. We're going to perish. And he said, why are you fearful? O ye of little faith. Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. Ye of little faith, why didn't you pray and calm the waves? Why didn't you cast out the lunatic demon? Why didn't you do it? Ye little faith. You know, when I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again, right? You're gonna get it into our heads. If I say black, you say white. If I say up, you say down. If I say love, you say hate, wrong. What's the opposite of love? Hate? Hate. The Apostle Paul hated everything about Jesus Christ, everything about the new Christian religion, right? He became the greatest Christian that ever lived, right? He wrote most of the New Testament. But what happened to his hatred? His zeal to kill those people, get them in prison. God slapped him down, and so then God could use him to preach to the world. I think it's hard for God to use a wimp, right? No, Lord, but you sound like a motorboat. But. Hey, there are no buts with Jesus Christ. You're going to be a man. You're going to be a woman of God. Get out. No time for wimps. No time for losers. No time for fear. And he said unto them, why are you fearful? Ye of little faith. Fear and faith. Can't have one. You can only have the other. And he rose, rebuked the winds and sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, what manner of man is this, that even the winds of the sea obey him? Well, who is? It's one thing to heal some people, and that's cool.
Okay, so let's just review a little bit, because this chapter is super important, right? So we talk about as Jesus healed a leper, and then he was fascinated or marveled by the faith of Roman officer, and then he healed dying mother of disciple. However, he denied the guy who was trying to sneak in close to Jesus, however, didn't have purity in his heart, and Jesus felt that. And then he also tell that
it's like Jesus
one of
warned the guy.
Yeah, one of the disciples who want to bury his father said, come with me. And right after this, we have this tremendous event when Jesus decided to go sleep, and the storm has started. The waves start covering the ship, and everybody were just like, we're going to perish. We're going to die.
Right? Going down.
And here it is, that disciple who wanted to go bury his father, and Jesus said, come with me, because he wanted him to witness this is an incredible event when Jesus stopped basically winds and storm. And basically what he was doing, he was building faith of his disciples.
Right.
He was building their belief and their faith and their strengths, because as he will go soon, they will take his place to go with
preach to the world.
Yeah, go and preach to the world with the gospel. So this was absolutely significant right after this happened. 28.
And when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with a devil? No, devils. Coming out of what? The tombs. I'm already scared. Exceeding fierce, like human pit bulls, animals, so that no man might pass by that way.
They were so scary.
They were scary.
Looking, yeah.
They were like Goliaths, right?
Possessed. Those were like
devil.
Supernatural looking evil things that hardly to understand another people, you know? There's so many devils in them that you can't even recognize there's actually people. There are two people that possessed by this enormous amount of
What's
devil.
the basic number one sign of a possessed person? Whether they've got one demon or whether they've got 90 million, who knows how many they have. Their eyes are dead because they're possessed. by devils.
That's true.
And behold, it's kind of like we've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen a deer in the headlights? How do you see it? What's the first thing you see? Their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you hit it? You don't see their eyes anymore. The light, the spirit, gone.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with thee? How'd they know it? What have we to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God? You don't think they knew him? They knew him for millions of years. The first earth age. Art thou come hither to torment us before the time? What's the time going to be? The pit. The pit where they're all ashes. They're all burnt like their boss Satan.
So that's the time that comes. That's going to be a tremendous war between good and evil. And basically that's what they're saying. Are you going to destroy us before that time? Kind of thing. And they were mocking him basically. Okay.
All right, so here's another interesting thing. And there was a good way off from them a herd of many swine feeding. Is this anywhere in your history? However, you're supposed to be raising swine. You're not supposed to be eating. Now, if there's a herd of cattle, there's a herd of sheep, herd of goats, okay, there's a herd of pigs.
It could
But you
be
can even that,
Gentiles,
baby.
Yeah, it could be Gentiles filled.
Probably.
Yeah.
But then, okay, another thing, right? Just showing you. Very interesting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even the pigs couldn't handle these demons, right? These men, who knows how many years they had demons?
Right.
I don't know, you don't know, it doesn't say.
Yeah.
But what does he say? And behold, they cried out, what have we to do with thee, Jesus? Son of God, art thou come hither to torment us before the time? And there was a good way off from them a herd of many swine, swine's flesh, dirty. And he said unto them, go.
No, so the devil skip a little.
Oh, so the devils, so the devils besought him, saying, if thou cast us out, don't put us back in chains, right?
Uh-huh.
Just at least suffer us, again, allow us to go away into the herd of swine. And he said unto them, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Nope. And when they were come out, they went into the herd of swine, and behold, the whole herd of swine, maybe there were hundreds of them, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep. You ever heard about like one dumb sheep goes like off a cliff and everybody, they all follow, right? There's a little beyond that. And the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea. They all perished in the waters. Why? They couldn't handle the demons. Even pigs couldn't handle the demons. They ran off cliff into the ocean, drowned themselves. Why do people handle them? How come those men didn't do that? Because they're dumber than pigs? I don't know. And they that kept them ran. The pig farmers. You know what I notice about a lot of pig farmers? Baby, they're this big. They eat a lot of pig. And they're huge. I've met them. They're usually arm wrestlers, right? Because they're humongous. Okay, and they kept them and went Oh no, 32 or 33. Go. Oh, and they ran into the sea and perished. Got it. And they that kept the pigs, the pig farmers, went their ways into the city and told everything and what was befallen to the possessed of the devils. And behold, the whole city came out to meet Jesus. And when they saw him, they besought him that he would leave. We don't need you or your type here. Why? Why? Because he's godly and they're godless? Yeah, so. Well, he stomped out a pretty good business right there. There goes all those pigs worthless, right? Hey.
Yeah, this is incredible. So this is a very, very powerful chapter as we study. So just review one more time. So we have a leper, we have a Roman officer, we had the mother of one of the disciples, we had those three that Jesus taking care of because of their faith, because that's one thing they had in common. We had denial of the Jesus person that who Jesus considered not to be worthy to be with, and we'll also talk about there's important things in life that needs to be prioritized versus what that disciple asked Jesus to do, and the demons casting. That's another incredible power that Jesus was showing to us, how he cast the demons. And this particular case was these two people that were absolutely incredible, that the whole herd went to the sea, just because he was able to transfer those demons and to the herd of the swines. And again, swines, we're going to have an entire chapter of what God suggests us to eat or not to eat and why. So interesting, like he didn't pick herd of cows, right? or horses.
Well, I mean, and think about this. It wasn't Jesus that picked them.
That's true, actually.
It was the devils.
The devils picked
Hey, let's go into the pigs.
So, like seeking like, right?
Like versus like.
It's very interesting.
Saying, yeah, I've never thought of it. But I mean,
Yeah. And on this note, we're going to finish today's chapter 8. We're so pleased to have you in our Church of Making Your Day. And as this couple, husband and wife, we encourage you and your loved ones, your significant ones, start, I would not say study Bible, but understanding Bible, verse by verse, chapter by chapter, together with us. And we thank you.
right. Thank you. And thank you. And hang in there. It's a jungle out there.